Hey everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the top 5 best base locations in Palworld's 1.0 update. This will be for the early, mid, and late game, and I'll be breaking down the best places to gather resources, as well as showing you some base inspirations so you can make the base of your dreams. And I do have a separate guide on how to build vertical bases here because honestly, in the 1.0 update, the pathfinding for this is really good, and they can connect via Bluetooth to be able to do their different chores and duties, so it makes it really easy to be able to set up these large-scale bases like this, especially if you're doing like breeding ranches, which take up a lot of space. Now, ore is the resource that you're going to need the most in Palworld, so I would recommend this base right here that we're looking at 9 and -524. This location is very close to the start of the game. I'll also show a couple other spots here that do work nice, but one thing about this is it has dungeon expeditions nearby, so there's one just right there, and then if you fly out over here, you're going to notice there is one just right down there too. So this is a nice base because you can set this up, have your pals mine all the ore here while you go out and explore a bit, but you see it here, there are a ton of nodes of ore here. It has a beautiful view as well, and this is one of the nicest base locations in the early sections of the game because of its sustainability. There's trees everywhere. The only thing that it does not have is stone, but you're probably swimming that in it at this point, but there are some nodes for stone in and around this area. And the nice thing, early game, there are spirit streams all the way here, so if you end up coming down into the ground, you can jump your way up there. There's also fishing spots here, and just in general, this is one of my favorite locations to set up in the early sections of the game, just because it has a lot of things going on here. But I also want to give an honorable mention for the 5th place for this one here at 157 -389, just above the Chillet, and again, very close to the start of the game. This location here has a ton of ore as well. I personally really like this, and there's also like this castle over in this section, trees everywhere, and there is stone in the sections just right by here. So this can be another really nice one. The thing that I like the most about this base is that it is really easy to defend. There's a bridge just right here, and a lot of the times the enemies are going to end up down at the bottom here, so this can be a really easy base to help with the overall defense of this, but it's just a nice base because of the large amount of resources and close proximity to the start of the game. Now, if you don't mind a bit of a hike, coming from the start of the game all the way over to this location here, -246, 20, right by Dumud here, is a very good location as well. Lots of trees, lots of ores that my pals have destroyed right now, but one thing about this is it is kind of central to a lot of different locations that'll be going later on in the game, which I like it, especially if you set up a base here, set up another one here, and you got great coverage over later sections of the game. There are a lot of trees here, and there's actually multiple spots that you can set up your base in this area. You see there's some ore and stone there, trees galore, and you can even come over to this section here where there's more stone and trees. A very wide open section just right here. So this is another spot I like. There's also dungeons and everything you need. A dungeon there, a dungeon just right here. So for the early game, if you don't mind a bit of a sprint to come over to this section here, this can be a nice one to set up, or if you're just looking for a second base to combine with your other ones in the early game. So I guess I'm combining all of these here in 5th place just because there are some really nice spots early game if you need ore. Now, these aren't in any particular order, but our 4th place here is the islands. Now, there's something really nice about the islands here because you see that we got oil right there. And then on the lower levels here, there's some oil if I sneak back around, and you see right here, we got another oil node. And if we sneak inside here, we got another oil node. So 3 oil nodes just right here, which is obviously really nice, but that's not all. You can build a base just right here, and then you can build another base right here, which also has 3 oil nodes. Now, the cool thing about this is you can actually set 2 oil extractors on top of one node. That obviously gets a lot of energy costs, but this can be the most efficient way if you need to max out oil. Like, for example, if you want to use the new wingsuit, this would be the best way to do it. Now, the 2 aisles that I'm talking about, there's actually a second one here. There's one aisle right here, and then there's another aisle just right over here. And there are other aisles, but I like this one here at 404 -475, and this one here at 940, 202. Now, what I like about this again is you got also kinship peaches that can show up in this section right here. There's also fishing right here, and yeah, 3 oil nodes, and it is a beautiful view here as well. Now, if you wanted to get crazy, you can set up a base just over here as well. There's no oil nodes in this section here, so just be mindful of that. But you got fishing spots galore. The view is beautiful. I like being off here, and it is a little secluded, but it is well worth it with the amount of oil that you can extract on these islands here. So this is island number 1. And here's my other base setup at the other island here, so the more northern one. This is the same setup. You got 2 oil nodes. I end up destroying that there, but you can put multiple oil on here. I guess there's 3, I should say. 3 oil nodes, and then you have the 3 oil nodes over in the front section. So again, this is a good spot to do a double base. You can set a base up here, set a base there, and kind of turn them into like a little mini town, an island tropical vacation place. But what I again like about this is you can build these vertically. I think that it looks really nice with a setup like this. Not everyone's a fan of that, but when you have the PAL box up top here and all the PALs are just working away up on top, it works really good. And then you have the oil nodes down at the bottom, and then sometimes your PALs will just stay up top and work on the oil nodes down in the basement. It's really sweet. So yeah, you got beautiful views from this spot, and I even just set up sometimes some bases or mini bases without a PAL box nearby just to make it feel a little bit more, what is he doing? Jeez, Hydrolon. So yeah, you do get to observe some silly things like that happening from time to time, which I think makes these bases even funnier. But yeah, it would still be working away. It just didn't have any tasks that it needed to do. I like the islands, and again, oil, just a great resource spot. Now, if you're looking for a base that has sulfur as well as quartz and ore, this is the spot for you. This base is just right here. This is kind of like a bonus one because there's the only really good location for this. 303 minus 107. Now, what is nice about this base is that a lot of the raids come from right up here, so you can set up like a gate here, make this easy to defend against. I removed all my pals just so that I could showcase the massive amount of resource that you can get here. I didn't even place this good. I would have placed the base more like right there, and then I would be able to grab these. There's stone, there's woods, there's views, there's the dungeon just right here, and it is a very nice location. Again, you got oil rigs off in the distance, so you can fly your way over there. But what's great about this, again, is the number of resources. Like, this is the largest grouping of the quartz and sulfur in the entire game, so that just makes it easy for you to farm it here in this spot here. I really like this one. I guess we can consider that like a 3.5 just because this is a unique base in it, how it functions. Now, one thing I'd recommend is a base over here at minus 647,282. You can alternatively go with a minus 541,166. But what's nice about this base over here is the proximity to the world tree, but also resource availability. There are 2 oil nodes here, tons of hardwood trees, stone, you name it, all in this section. And this also has Yakumo, who's a very important pal once you get to the late game. And this is just a really good spot because the world chi is just right there and it looks beautiful. I really like this view from this spot. So you got that, and it's close proximity to these end game locations is really nice. Now this spot here, there's also a spot right here, there, and there. These brown mud kind of spots are nice. You also have a bounty just below it, so that is also pretty cool. And then there's also this spot here. This one, again, also has 2 oil nodes. So if you want to have like a more mainland style build without having to go to the islands for the triple oil, you got it there and there. So this can be a nice game or later game spot to go because the view, I really like it. The mushrooms, you can have yourself like hang out up on the cliffs here. There's oftentimes eggs that'll spawn in here or treasure chests. So this is a very like luxurious place to go. And yeah, you got a really just beautiful view. Easy to defend too because we have this very large wall here that's going to protect this spot. So yeah, I like both of these spots here in the island for our third place or our third location that we'll be going with. Also, if you do an Alpha Eye of Cthulhu here, you can get a bunch of the hollowed bars for the Terraria stuff. And if you throw a Frostallion and a Plasma together, you can get yourself Solen early. So yeah, I use this as my like breeding all in one base. We got oil, we got a bunch of different minerals and stuff in this area. This is a very solid location, but there's also a third one that I'd recommend in this. So 1, 2, and then the third is just coming over to this section here. That is minus 848, 460. This is a little bit of a heated zone, especially if you're on a fire-based pal, so I'll make this brief. Oil. There's a lot of oil. We got 1, 2, 3 in this area. You got ore, you got some dying trees, you got lava for Yarmantide to be happy. I think this is a pretty solid spot if you like the volcanic area, but I do prefer the others here. And then you got your Sekhmet off in the distance there. But yeah, this is a decent enough spot just because of there's a lot of oil in this region. Now, Hexiolite is an annoying resource to farm. We have this cheerful ore researcher here looking at our dual slots here of Hexiolite. Now, this location here at minus 1066, minus 1418 in the Fabric Isles is solid. I really like this because you also have over the edge here, like a very beautiful view, trees galore, and there's 3 of the Hexiolite here. Unfortunately, I had to call back my pals so that I could actually showcase this here, but you also do get an ore or an oil node just right there. You got some stone, you got hardwood, wood, you got a lot of resources. There is 3 Hexiolite here, and this is one that I like to do a very tall base, because again, you got this gorgeous view here, so it's nice to set up and maybe build your housing up on the top, because bases can actually support very tall bases. So yeah, I would recommend doing that, because the view from this place, it's one of the most beautiful in the entire game. But we're looking for that triple Hexiolite here. It is just such a valuable resource, and you also have some oil over there as well. But the nice thing about this one is you can farm that and have your pals take care of it, but then you can also travel a little bit and find yourself some more Hexiolite in this region. So that's the nice thing about it, is if you're going ahead to like do some farming, you can just come on over here, get yourself some of it, and then take it back to your base while your pals mine away at the stuff that's at your base. And kind of a similar one, I'm going to recommend another in this region for Hexiolite. This oceanfront property, beautiful. But we have 2 nodes. There's one just right outside here. I set it here just so that they wouldn't destroy it. You want to set your base just so you can grab the one that's right there. And there is one just right here too, but they are mining away at it. So I like this base because it also has this here, whereas oddly enough, a lot of the raids end up coming from this region, so you can just wall them off just like that, and it ends up looking pretty nice here. So that is, again, a Hexiolite style base. Not as good as the other one that has 3 nodes, but having 2 here is quite solid. And again, another beautiful spot for the view here. I really enjoy this, but I think that the other spot has the better view. And our number 1 base, I guess I should say the late game base here. This one is amazing. This location just right here at -595, -1430 has a ton of Soralite here. So they've mined a bit of it here. There's a lot of it though, so you don't have to worry, because if you don't like this location here, this is my preferred spot, you can just come right over here where there are 6 Soralite nodes. So yeah, and there's also that item there. But what's great about that is this is a late game item that you're going to need. And by this point, you'll be able to likely create the ancient ancient material synthesizer. So with this, you're able to create your own minerals, so it becomes less of a priority later on in the game. But yeah, you can get a lot of different resources just from this location here. Got another very tall base with all the beds and stuff. And the thing I like about this is I don't really have it set up as a mining base just at the current moment, and my pals will just go around and chill. I use this as my chill base. I just think that this is really cool, so I got loaded with Sekhmet and Dupins here just for the vibes. But yeah, this is a great base because not only the location is beautiful, but a lot of resources. There's another spot just right down there, and you can see off in the distance over here, that is the base that I started the video off with, just off in the distance. With this being at -445, -1352. Now this one I use as a breeding style base, but you can see here, gorgeous view. I really like this spot here just because, yeah, you got that going on in the distance. It looks really cool, and you can see my other base off in the distance. It reminds me of Super Mario Sunshine, how you can see all the different locations around the map. Love it. But yeah, this one is mostly used for breeding. I have the honey, so you can make cakes really easily, and then multiple different floors with the breeding setups because, again, they take up a lot of space. And then what I even did when I had here is I created a little basement. So this is something I like to do with certain bases, is create the base out of glass. So we have that annoying thing that teleports you stuck so it can't actually attack us. This is a place I was going to put beds, but you can also walk out here and you're still safe from that thing. It's not able to hit us here. Do want to get back in your breeding cage. What we like about this though is, again, it's got a beautiful view. It's right by the water. This doesn't have the Soralite that the other one has, but it still has it in the region. So depending on how you build, you can see we got a little bit of an overlap there, but I'm doing this one for the vibes. This one is just mostly a beautiful location. There's a lot of them here. I've also tried building on some of these spires here. Now, this is a little bit wonky because you have to set up a structure for it to work properly, but you can get some pretty crazy bases set up on these towers here. It is kind of wild and not easy to do, mind you, but it is entirely possible to set up bases on these and build them downwards. So don't let your memes be dreams. Build the house of your dreams in Palworld. You can do some cool stuff here. Not easy, but yeah, this location has a lot of great spots. But again, that first location right over here would be the absolute best. But yeah, let me know your favorite base location in Palworld's 1.0 update. I think there's a lot of great spots here. I know I showed a few more than 5 here, but I want to show some variations there in case you wanted something similar but liked a different location better. So if this video was useful, please hit the subscribe button below, and we'll catch you guys all in the next video.